Welcome back, Warriors. Today we have a real special one. We're going to touch lightly on men's rights today. That is, I mean, we're men here, so of course this is top on our head. But sometimes it feels like it could be a little one sided when it comes to rights. So we wanted to try to help out this side to say, hey, there are things that can be done. Warrior Waldo, we were talking about old flames earlier, and what did you find that helps the most with maybe asserting yourself or being the men's uh,
Well,
trying to not use dangerous words?
yeah, I know what you mean. You see, it took me a while. It took me to grow some balls to finally stand up and say, no, I have a right in this too. I have a say. It's not just you. At first, well, I'm thinking that with was a red pill, blue pill. So we talked about this happy wife, happy life.
That's
Just
the
give her
blue.
whatever she wants. No, that makes you a simp. That makes you a pushover. She won't respect you. You have to stand your ground. A man has, when it comes to a marriage, and you're going to be part of, say, let's say raising a child or having children. If the wife says, I want a child, and you're not ready, and you explain to her when you know you're not ready, you have a right to say no. The only time you should be having a child or another child is when both people agree it's the right time.
Well, okay. So in this example, the blue pill guy would want to be like, yeah, sure, I love to, rather than his actual feelings. I mean, is
He'd be
that,
afraid to. He'd be afraid to say his feelings.
and that could definitely hurt you, or hurt you yourself, but especially the child down the line.
Absolutely.
If your heart's not in it, I can't imagine. But um, what's hmm, how do I say this without naming people?
Oh boy, that's
Uh,
hard.
I had an old flame once. She was a very alpha individual, or at least she thought she was, and there was nothing that I could do to make her see that there were different things, better things, and she just wanted to rah rah rah,
Mm-hmm.
on me, and I'm like, no, we can't do this,
You
and
have to do that. You
uh,
have to stand your ground. Because a lot of men, especially the blue pillars, especially this day and age, when the wife goes rah, 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 they back down.
yeah, and about it was only a 2 month relationship, but that
Well, yeah,
that was
girlfriend.
um, the second time I I just thinking about it now makes me unhappy, but just having to go to her and then the next week it's just like, oh, we're broken up. And it's like, what? I just
Yeah,
wasted some of my time on you.
yeah,
What are you doing? But you know what? Like you said, learning that lesson.
yeah. I don't think breaking up or divorce in that situation, I don't think is ever the answer because it kind of makes you look like you're just quitting. But that doesn't, you have to stand for your rights in the marriage, and you have just as much rights over all decisions.
Sure.
There is no happy wife, happy life in a man's world. Both people have to be happy. Both people have to say. Both people have to be ready for whatever you're making a decision for. You have to be consultant and you have to give consent. Don't women complain about consent all the time? Same thing for us.
In this another video, Warriors, the double standards
Yep,
in mainstream
big
media.
time.
This also happens to relationships. It's not just mainstream media like the video we just did. It's a very complex situation. Check the video out. Like, subscribe, shout from a mountain, uh,
That's like what
shoot a
we do.
bow and arrow at people. Um, so if I need to have a little help. I for example, I'm a blue pill, and I want to make my girlfriend happy, uh, but she's just doing this to me. But I do want to make her happy. So, what type of prescriptive advice could you give to an individual like myself who likes this individual, maybe loves, we don't want to put in
Right.
words or whatever, but
You simply state your case. Number one, you tell them that you want them to be happy. But it's important that you're both happy and you're both ready. It can't just be all about her. And you explain your side of the story, why, you don't think you guys should be doing this. Whatever it is that she's demanding and that you're not ready for. Just because you're making her unhappy and not giving her way doesn't mean you're being a bad husband or a bad boyfriend.
true.
You have rights in the relationship. That's simple as that. And they need to understand. And the more you stand up and the more you assert yourself, the more you stand your ground, the more she's, one, going to respect you. Two, the relationship's going to get a lot stronger because she knows she can't push you over. And three, she's going to love you more for it. She's going to respect you more for it. That's probably the most important thing.
Something I keyed in when you were saying, if we as the men are going to try to tell our significant other, hey, this is how I feel, how do we do that without either A, emasculating ourselves, or B, just making a fool of ourselves because we fumble around?
Well, men, I think, by nature, maybe I'm generalizing. I'll just speak for myself. When I get my emotions up, I don't express myself correctly. I have issues with expressing myself.
Sounds like most men.
A lot of men I know are like that. So it seems like sometimes women grasp onto that and they try to, they detect that as weakness. The best thing a man can do is remain calm. And when she starts flipping out, don't let her see that it affects you. Just like you do with kids. And I hate to compare kids to children, but when kids are crying, blah, 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 you just calmly let them do their thing and tell them, no, you're going to stop that. They're going to realize, well, crying doesn't work anymore.
Hopefully they're
So
learning.
in a relationship, it kind of works the same way.
That's
You
a
have
good
to make
point.
sure you're not the one doing the crying and stomping feet and all that, because now you look like the child to her, and that's all she sees. The instant she sees that, she's not hearing the message anymore. She's just mad at the messenger, and you're going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you said emasculating yourself. I don't see anything emasculating about standing your ground.
No. But the way of trying to express one's feelings about something, you can stand your ground. I'm all on board with you on that one, but some of us warriors can't do that. So it's one of those things where you don't want to say hey, and then you get all sorts of in trouble for not communicating correctly.
Yeah, you're kind of going down the road of PTSD, and I think we talked about that in an earlier video. Coming back and not dealing with stressful situations like we could before because of what we've been through.
That part, yeah.
That part needs to be understood by the other party. If she gets in a certain way when that Aunt Flo comes once a month, and she demands understanding for her feelings, she reciprocates by understanding you when you're not quite expressing yourself right because of what you went through and the headspace that you're in now. You can try to be as calm and as much as possible, but she needs to understand I'm not forming the sentences the way you want me to.
Sure.
Therefore, try to understand what I'm saying instead of being mad because you're not getting your way.
And warriors, also something I'll just throw in right on top of Warrior Waldo is don't create some, again, that's a song that I can't talk about because it says bad words and we can't do that here on YouTube. I'll just go back and say communication can
Always.
be really helpful for both parties.
Always.
So if we're not communicating or can't communicate correctly,
And you both
as you
should be
kind
able
of
to
put it,
communicate.
then let's educate ourselves, warriors. Let's try to get ourselves to be better people, and it's not just going to the gym and trying to be, big and bad, because eventually you get old enough and it all goes away, or you start taking some steroids or whatever. But just get your mind right too.
This is great advice. This needs to be written on a plaque somewhere. What you're saying, great advice.
So if we can, I don't want to make this into a deep dive. Just trying to say, hey, we're here too, and there's a song on. It's called "To Be a Man" by this rapper Dax. Check out the video, Warriors. It's actually it made me cry the first time because it was just like he was saying that all the men have to do, and then the women can do whatever they want in terms of like relationship. And it's a kind of a sad video itself, but it does really highlight the differences in us men trying to be the man of the house or to provide the family. Sometimes that gets stressful. Sometimes that is just, it tears your heart out. So check out that video if you can.
Absolutely.
Warriors, it's you'll understand a lot more, and it's almost like because we all can relate to this.
Yeah.
We all can relate to it. So.
Exactly.
So, any closing thoughts that you had, Waldo? Is there anything that?
I think you said though that last little soliloquy you went on was really, really good. I think it was well said. Just remember that when you get into a conversation, she's not going to back down right away. You're going to have to remain calm, but stand your ground. Try to express yourself as much as you can. Hopefully, she understands you to understand that you may not be able to form words as well as she does. But
are dumb, so.
They want to be in a position of power? No, it has to be equal, and you need to show that in the conversations. I think you said everything else great.
So, with that, thanks again, Warriors. Until next time, for all of us, to all of you, thanks.